Ladies and gentlemen, this is probably one of the strangest and definitely most heartbreaking stories that we've talked about. Absolutely senseless. And I'm going to tell you guys, we're getting ready to talk about the individual that you see on my screen right there. Old Twizzler face, red hot Cheeto face looking ass. This mom, excuse my language, but I'm just saying she looks a little funny. But you won't feel bad once I tell you what she did to her own children. And I'm going to tell you guys, the details might bother you a little bit. So if you can't handle that, I understand if you need to exit the video. But that's your forewarning. We're going to give you guys some details that are not going to sit well with your sensibilities. That individual, her name, let me get her face back up on the screen. That is Madison Mcdonald. So guess what? Madison comes out of, I think it's Irving. I don't quite remember. Irving, Texas. So Texas takes another L. I don't know what my state is doing. And I think the next story that I got to talk about also comes out of Texas. We are doing a terrible job representing for the babies when it comes to good parenting. Okay? That woman, her name is Madison Mcdonald. She is the Texas mother who walked into a police station. Let me see if I can show y'all that. Do y'all want to see the video? I think I got a video of this too. This woman walked in a police station on April the 5th, only a few days ago, and she confessed that she killed her two, not one, but two young daughters. The Irving Police Department said McDonald was arrested and charged with capital murder. Again, let me remind you, Texas has super aggravated child abuse laws. We take a harsh stance against people who hurt children. Yes? Capital murder, you're done. You get convicted of that, you're done. Police spokesman Officer Robert Reeves identified the children as Lillian Mae McDonald, who would have turned 2 years old in May, right before her second birthday, and 6-year-old Archer Hammond. That's Lillian. Now, why they didn't have a picture of baby Archer, who was her other kid, is beyond me. I thought that was a little bit strange. I looked around. I could not find a picture of him. Let me point something out to you before we even get further in the story. I want y'all to notice that there is only one GoFundMe and one child in that picture, but they're two dead children. Two dead children, one GoFundMe. Does everybody know what that means? Two baby daddies. Last name Hammond, last name McDonald. So I'm assuming the children have different fathers. But they only put a PayPal up, but they only put a GoFundMe up for one kid. Now again, I want to remind you guys, I don't believe in using GoFundMe to supplement being lazy and cheap as shit for not having life insurance. Life insurance is very cheap. You can get it from gerberlife.com, among many other places, but get life insurance. If you're going to have kids, get life insurance, period. And stop being a lazy ass parent. Now, the mother arrived at the Irving Police Department on April the 5th around 10 p.m. Officer Reeves explained during a news conference, which I'll show y'all that also, that no one works at the front desk at nighttime. There's a phone in the lobby that people can use to call for help. Reeves said McDonald's used the phone in the lobby to dial 911 and told the dispatcher that she had killed her two daughters. He described her demeanor as very calm as all of this played out. Now, Reeves explained that the officers immediately responded to McDonald's home at the Anthem Apartments located on Cowboys Parkway. After forcing the door open, with the help of the Irving Fire Department, they found the two children dead inside the apartment. McDonald claimed she smothered the children, choked their breathing. She smothered the children to death. but police said that the medical examiner's office will give a cause of death officially. Here's point number 2. When they asked what the motive was for the killings, Reeves did not speculate. He told reporters that they are working to determine a motive, but added, there's not going to be a definition or reason that would ever justify the murder of 2 small children. But according to a probable cause affidavit obtained by the news station, the mother suggested to investigators that she felt she was protecting her children by ending their lives. She explained that she sedated them and tucked them into their beds before smothering them. Boy, that is some cold, heartless stuff. McDonald claimed that her daughters were being abused, the outlet reported. The mom said her daughters were being abused. Bookmark that, we'll come back to it. She stressed that she would do anything to protect them, and that included the drastic step of eliminating them. Her words, not mine. She said eliminating her own children. The news has reached out to the Irving Police Department for a copy of the affidavit. And I think I have that. Let me see if I can pull it up. Yeah, I've got that. So if you guys ever need it, I found it. It is available on heavy.com/news/Madison Mcdonald. And they leave a link if you want to look that up. But I'm not going to post it in the chat. There's no reason to do that right now. Anyway, let's move on. McDonald lived at the apartment on Cowboys Parkway alone with her 2 daughters. Alone with her 2 daughters. So with me repeating myself, why did I repeat myself? Because the mother said her children were being abused and she was trying to protect them. Protect them from what and from who if you live alone? Does that not sound suspicious? Nobody lived there with you. You can't blame it on some man abusing your kids. But let's move on. The Officer Reeves said that there were no witnesses and clarified that McDonald was the only adult living in the home, right? Dallas County records suggest that McDonald filed for divorce in September of 2020. Reeves revealed during the April 6th news conference that officers had responded to McDonald's home in the past, but he declined to share any details about what those calls may have been about due to privacy protocols. Now, the news reported that Child Protective Services confirmed that the agency has a history with the family, but of course, they don't give no damn details, but they let us know that there is a history of whatever it is, a history, whatever that's supposed to mean. Thank you. You said you're going to send me a picture. I appreciate that. So just to let you guys know, it poses no risk to these children at all to share their pictures after these children are deceased. So why they didn't have a picture of both the kids is beyond me, but I thank you, Ginger, or anybody else who wants to email me the correct picture of Archer, okay? But let's move on. It's unclear how many times police have been to McDonald's home, but Reeves added that the number of domestic violence calls has risen amid the coronavirus pandemic. He stressed that if anyone is aware of a dangerous situation or suspects violence, to be an advocate and call law enforcement, like what we ask people to do already. Now, McDonald was booked into the Irving City County Jail, and she got no bail, 0 bond, and I think that's about right. Reeves said that she would be transferred to Dallas County Jail as the case proceeds. As of this writing, it was not clear whether McDonald had an attorney who could speak on her behalf. Inmate records show that she faces capital murder charges with a special designation because the victims were under the age of 10 years old. Again, that's that special provision, the super aggravated child abuse laws. In Texas, capital murder carries a possible death penalty sentence if the defendant is convicted. Prosecutors may also pursue life in prison without the possibility of parole. But the state does not allow for the death penalty if the defendant is found to have a mental disability or legally incapacitated. But ain't nothing wrong with her. She just damn stupid. She made a bad choice. Let's talk about the father. Her ex-husband told the news that he's heartbroken by the loss of his daughter, Lillian Mae McDonald. So apparently Archer was not his son. He did not wish to speak on camera, but told the reporter that the entire family was shocked by the murders of the two sweet little girls. A family launched a GoFundMe campaign to help cover funeral costs of one of the kids. Not both, but one of them. The page states, if you are friends with Chris and you know that his daughters are the light of his life, Lillian was his youngest daughter that he just adored her daddy. When Chris walked around in the room, you could see the light and the love he had for Lillian. Every interaction, Lillian was smiling, laughing, and playing with her dad. It goes on to explain that Lillian would have turned 2 on May the 15th. So like I say, I'm assuming that the other kid is probably not his. But let me go ahead and give you guys the fair usage. Let me let you hear the news videos. Federal law allows citizens to reproduce, distribute, or exhibit portions of copyrighted motion pictures, videotapes, or video discs under certain circumstances without the authorization of the copyright holder. This is called fair use. It is allowed for purposes of criticism, news reporting, teaching, and parody, which doesn't infringe of copyright under 17 U.S.C. 107. Let's take a look at this real quick. Let me show y'all on the screen. So thank you to Ginger Reed, and this is why we are a community, a family, sharing stuff with each other. I definitely appreciate that. So here it is. Here's the other child's GoFundMe. $15,000. No life insurance. Because if either one of these kids had life insurance, I'm going to assume that they would have used that policy as opposed to opening a crowdfunding campaign. Here's the other picture of Archer. And I think Archer, 6 years old. Beautiful kid, man. That just really sucks. Precious souls, man. Precious souls. Let's go ahead and start.
Alex Rozier has been speaking with the family and joins us live at the police station. Alex, it didn't take long to make an arrest.
Yeah, Chris, that's because Madison Mcdonald walked into the Irving Police headquarters around this time last night, and police say that she walked into their lobby, used the phone to call 911, and in that call, she confessed to the killing of her two daughters. I want to show you some video right here. Irving Police released this video of Madison at their headquarters. She walked around for 10 minutes before making the 911 call. At that time, Irving PD sent officers to the Anthem Apartments on the 700 block of Cowboys Parkway. They entered her unit, and inside they found her 1-year-old daughter.
I'm going to back this up so y'all can see how casually she did this. And she did this, I think they said, for like, what, 10 minutes? Watch this again. I'll show y'all the full video here in a moment.
Video of Madison at their headquarters. She walked around for 10 minutes before making the 911 call. At that time, Irving PD sent officers to the Anthem Apartments on the 700 block of Cowboys Parkway. They entered her unit, and inside they found her 1-year-old daughter and her 6-year-old daughter dead. This afternoon, we heard from Irving Police.
And we're trying to figure out the why. And in a situation like this, this is obviously a horrific incident where 2 children were murdered. We may not ever know the why, right? Because there's not going to be a definition or a reason that would ever justify the murder of 2 small children. All I can say is, all I can keep encouraging people is, if you know someone is going through a situation, don't choose to not get involved. Choose to be that advocate for that victim and contact your local police department and let them at least come out and assess the situation and figure out if someone's in danger.
And I also want y'all to remember, how much energy does it take to choke your children to death? Because I'm sure, especially with that 6-year-old, that the 6-year-old subconsciously would fight back. But they said the kids were sedated. Man, I don't know. That had to take a lot of hate. That came from an angry place. And to me, because she medicated them kids also, that's premeditated. She should not be able to get off on this at all. She should be done. We got to be done with people like this in our society rather than feeling bad. Oh, I wonder what she was going through. Y'all don't know what she was going through. We're all humans. We all go through something. It don't give us the right to hurt children who can't speak for themselves or defend themselves. Let's move on.
Now, according to Irving police, Madison said she killed the girls by smothering them, though an official cause of death will be determined by the medical examiner. Right now, she's at the Irving City Jail, and tomorrow she will be transferred to the Dallas County Jail. She's facing 2 counts of capital murder. And I will tell you that this afternoon I had the chance to speak with the father of one of the girls, and as you can imagine, he is heartbroken today. He tells me that, understandably, he doesn't want to talk on camera, but he wanted to share that the family is devastated and shocked by the death of 2 sweet little girls. We're live in...
All right, let me show y'all this next video. This is the news conference. If y'all want to watch this news conference video, let me know. It's kind of long. It's about maybe 8 minutes. If you want to see it, let me know. Otherwise, I'll show y'all the shorter videos.
And first is an incomprehensible story. Irving police say a woman walked into their police station and confessed to murdering her 2 young daughters. The children's bodies were found at the Anthem Apartments in Irving on Cowboys Parkway. Kevin Reese is live at the Irving Police Department. Kevin, what do we know so far?
Sum this up aptly. We may never know why this mom did this, and even if she did tell us why, what answer could possibly ever make sense. Here is what we know so far. Her name is Madison Mcdonald. She is 30 years old and right now arrested and taken into custody here at the city jail here with...
And they have no bond for her. Also, if you guys are listening, please do me a favor, look down for a moment. Please click the thumbs up. What that does is it helps share this story as well as our other stories and lets more people know that we're live. So if y'all would, just take a moment, click the thumbs up. Very easy to do, okay? Thank you.
Without bond. Here's what police told us. That McDonald walked into the police department here in Irving at 10 o'clock last night, right where I'm standing right now. Since no one was in the lobby at the time, she picked up a telephone in that lobby and called 911, confessing to the dispatcher that she had smothered her 2 young daughters, 1-year-old Lillian and 6-year-old Archer. Police arrested her in the lobby, and then officers went to her apartment complex in the 700 block of Cowboys Parkway and found the children just as the mother had said. Why she would do this certainly remains unanswered. Police, meanwhile, imploring all of us to get involved if we ever see any families in trouble.
All I can say is, all I can keep encouraging people is, if you know someone is going through a situation, don't choose to not get involved. Choose to be that advocate for that victim and contact your local police department and let them at least come out and assess the situation and figure out if someone's in danger.
Again, the mom, Madison Mcdonald, is held right now on 2 counts of capital murder of children under the age of 10. She will eventually be transferred to the Dallas County Jail if that is not already in process right now. Meanwhile, investigators and mental health experts trying to get to the bottom of that question. Why? The answer that we, quite frankly, may never know. Back to you.
Well, a Texas woman is facing 2 capital murder charges after walking into a police station. She called 911 to tell police she had killed her 2 young daughters.
It's unimaginable. Meredith Yeomans has more.
This is the front lobby of the Irving Police Department, and that is 30-year-old Madison Mcdonald, walking in around 10 last night after police say she killed her 2 daughters.
And I want y'all to remember that for you to find the police department, walk in like that, all calm, cool, and collected, that also shows that she just did not give a crap at all. And you had to look that information up. You had to Google search that address. You had to drive down there, then walk in there, and then wait for somebody to get with you. She just didn't give a crap. Now, how many of y'all wanted to actually see the news video? You say you wanted the shorter version, or do you want the full version? Because I can show the full version too. And also, don't forget that this is National Child Abuse and Autism Awareness Month. This is National Child Abuse and Autism Awareness Month. Y'all see her just walking around. And keep in mind, that was 10 minutes. But again, my closing thoughts about this is, like I said, I feel like the mother was selfish. Instead of giving up custody, she decided to keep these kids, and she murdered these kids for her own selfish reasons. And for that, like I said, it's inexcusable. It should never be forgiven, and she should suffer the ultimate penalty under law. Because guess what? In America, we're all equal, right? Men and women, we're all equal. Yes? So therefore, as well as you're willing to accept the benefits that come with being equal, you should also accept the responsibility when it comes to dealing with the consequences as well. And that's where it gets really skewed in our society, that we want to give people the good stuff, but they want to avoid the criticism. They want to avoid the penalties and avoid the consequences. And that's just not right. Either we're going to be equal all the way, or we're just not. All right. So let me go ahead and get this woman back up on the screen. Hot Cheeto face, hot tamale hair looking ass, terrible mother. And like I said, man, I hope they give her life in prison. So those kids, those fathers or father, whichever one it is, deserved an opportunity to raise those kids, be a part of those children's lives. And it really is a horrible thing that we don't give fathers as much credit in this country as I feel like we should. There's a lot of good men out there. It doesn't mean all, just like it's not all good mothers. It's a good amount of people out there, but you're going to have your bad apples as well as your, regardless of whether it's a mother or a father, there're going to always be some bad apples in there. But I definitely think that we should start showing fathers some more love. Let's put some respect and prayer hands out there for the fathers who lost their children for absolutely no reason. Like I said, what this woman did should suffer the ultimate penalty under law, and thank goodness for Texas' strong child abuse laws. Okay? Thank you guys so much for listening to the story. I'm DJ Just J, and if you look at the shirt, we believe that babies' lives matter, and they're going to matter to us, and we want the rest of the world to take notice. Okay? Make sure you guys hit that thumbs up, like, share, subscribe to our channel. Okay? Thank you.